Hey guys, it's Madeline.
And I'm Jordan.
And this is Jordan, and we are going to learn today how to add and subtract with decimals. And when we were first looking at what that means, what's the most important thing that you think is the number one thing when adding and subtracting decimals?
Line up your decimal points so you get the answer correct.
Exactly. So when we're adding and subtracting with decimals, we want to make sure, here's our example problem. So this is what it regularly looks like. This is our equation lined up. But when we go to set up the problem, we want to make sure that each number and place value is lined up and the decimals are also lined up. So it would look a little something like this, Jordan. 3.45 plus, and then we would bring it down to right here. 2, and where do you think our decimal is going to go?
Right there.
Yep, it's going to be lined up with our other decimal for 7. And then what do you think goes here, Jordan? I have a missing spot.
A 0.
A 0, or the placeholder. Perfect. So then we're ready to add once our problem looks like this and everything is lined up with each place value in the correct spot. Another helpful trick is you can go ahead and actually bring down that 0 as soon as you start your problem, so you know that's where it's going to be at in your answer. Because you want to make sure that decimal goes all the way down into your answer right there, and it stays in the same spot. So our first one is 5 plus 0
5.
is 5. And then what is this one right here? 4 plus 7.
11.
11. And then where does our 1 go?
Right here.
Right there, perfect.
6.
And what's our last one?
6.
6. Exactly. So now that we have 6.15 is our answer. And when we're talking about decimals, Jordan is very smart with place value and knows where everything goes. That's one of her strong suits. So I'm going to have her tell us which each place value is. So now that we have our decimal correctly lined up and added, what is the 6 in this one, Jordan?
The ones.
The ones place, and then we have our decimal, or our point, right where it's supposed to be. And then what is this one right after it?
Tenths.
The tenths, and then what comes right after that?
Hundredths.
The hundredths. That is perfect. So now you can also do the same thing with subtraction. So we're going to do a subtraction problem and see if that changes anything or tricks us up. How does that sound?
Good.
Okay. So let's do, I'm going to do 6.2 minus 3.48. So our problem looks like this as we've written it out, and then like your equal sign would be right there normally. But when we're adding and subtracting decimals, we want to make sure we're writing it this way, up and down, and lining up those decimals, Jordan. So we have 6.2 minus 3.48. Uh-oh, we have a missing gap again. Where do we think that goes?
0. 0, 0, 0.
0. So, what do we think that is?
You'll have to bring over 1 to this and then take 1 from the other and put it right there.
Exactly.